Hi. Oh my gosh. Stop. Okay. Hi. Yes, this is Unsighted any percent. Game came out and yeah, I can basically say everything. I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Yeah, this is Unsighted any percent. Unsighted is a game you play as a robot. Meteor came down. Basically like top-down Zelda-like game. You're on a quest to both remove this tower that came on this meteor that's stopping, all the robots from remaining sentient, because you're a robot and you like being sentient, so that's good. And also your girlfriend is a robot and you want to save her. So that's about all there is to say. And yeah. Right off there, there's an elevator there. In the tutorial, you're supposed to learn that code, but I use this cool thing called memorization. And that's my method for getting past there. Iris there is your companion. She'll give you an axe if you don't have a sword, and since we don't have a sword, we get an axe. Axes are good because they do more damage. It's very nice. They'll be our main tool for the run, though we do get a sword later, mainly for utility.
We are working out some technical difficulties, but no worries. We have more donations to read anyway. I actually have $25 from Sakura Tsubasa, who was our previous host before me, saying donating the amount of levels that Skybills completed while in an autoscroller while I was hosting. Plus bonus because I want the evolution dice. And if you haven't checked out the prize page yet, let me tell you, there are a lot of really wonderful prizes. You should head on over there. GamesDoneQuick.com. If you hit the tab that has the prize index, you can see some really awesome prizes, and you can make yourself eligible for those with your donations. Forbeszilla donates $25, saying, even though we're getting closer every minute to the close of AGDQ, remember to donate to incentives to keep it going for as long as possible. You're so right. So many incentives going. In fact, we have our final bonus game open right now. And I know we're going to be pushing hard for it all day long because that incentive gets met after 400,000, which sounds like a lot, but we're already at $14,235.61. Very precise number. There's a lot of precision donation happening, but we are getting excited already for that bonus game. I know it's early in the morning, but I'm excited for it, and I know we can get to it. Keep donating, keep adding those incentives. All right, we're ready to head back to Unsighted. Let's go.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. All right. Unsighted is a top-down Zelda-like game. Came out 2021, late 2021. You are Alma on a quest to save the meteor that brought all robots sentience, and also save your girlfriend, which is very cool. You go through a number of dungeons, get all the items, but not really gonna worry about getting too many of those items because the game has a crafting system that allows you to end up crafting most of those, and that's kind of what our early game is going to be, is collecting materials to craft all these. A brand new route I helped figure out to do this on Thursday, so that'll be cool. Basically, people were trawling around in the code and found out there was a way to craft a certain item that normally you had to go kill a boss for, and people didn't know about this, so entirely rerouted the early game in order to craft this instead of getting it that way, which is, I think, about 30 seconds faster. We haven't fully shown everything off. Right there, we just got chips. Chips are augments to your thing. Right now, we just got strength chip, which lets us do a little bit more damage, which will be a bit helpful in the early game. And we're killing these enemies here. Killing them in this way causes them to drop items pretty consistently. The only more random items are from these boxes here. They can or cannot, will sometimes drop scrap metal. Sometimes they won't. Grabbing extra syringe juice here for safety, because I do have to win this next fight. You can technically lose this next fight, but winning this fight gets you a flame blade, which is kind of I think was just put there for speedrunning. Actually, there's a lot of good speedrunning. I mean, there's obviously like there's IGT and such, although it's not used because of interacts weirdly with pausing. That's to say it doesn't move when you're paused, which could be a bit weird. But yeah, these shadow creatures, you can only damage them by parrying them. Otherwise, you only do 1 damage to them. Yeah, now we're back in the city. One of the main mechanics of this game is I mentioned there's a meteor, and that's the kind of the source of how robots are sentient. And since the meteor is cut off because there's a big tower on it, every robot in this game has like a timer on it, including you. So you can give them meteor dust, and that meteor dust extends that timer. But if you give a robot 3 meteor dust, they'll also give you an item. And we're going to do that for a particular item. It's Parry Master Chip that allows us to do more damage after parrying. And our general strategy for beating bosses is going to be parrying them and then doing a spin attack. And so doing more damage after that parry will help us beat them all the faster. So just going to grab these real quick. We also crafted the spinner. The spinner allows us to move around quicker. It also allows us to skip on water by attacking repeatedly, which is very nice. Also just fun. The spinner's fun. Would recommend. Time for a quick donation if there's any.
Oh yeah, I have $7.77 from Humblebee. Says, hey Roofon, David here. 3 a.m. is pretty late to stay up until, but I wanted to make sure I caught your run. My sleep schedule totally wasn't ruined before this. You know me. Back me up here. Best of luck. I know you'll kill it.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, my sleep schedule also very great right now. Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit of RNG at the start of the run here with whether or not these metal crates drop scrap metal, but they really don't want to. They really don't. Okay. Need one more. Please drop any. Okay, good. Normally it's not too bad. And yeah, right here we're crafting the high jump boots, which just found out about this. So instead of killing a tutorial boss, you just make them, which is very convenient. And next we're actually gonna end up going to downtown. This is all just our pre-prep phase before we just go on what's basically a boss rush, although not actually a boss rush. The actual boss rush could come later, assuming you beat the incentive for it. Here we'll be grabbing the spin charge chip. This will allow us to spin attack faster. Again, since spin attacking does the most damage, it's good to do it faster. It's also useful for a glitch that'll come up later, which is telehooking, which I'll explain when we get there. But for now, just kind of skating along. Like I said, I think I might have mentioned this earlier. The items that rocks drop are consistent, assuming you do things with them consistent. Like if you have the consistent amount of items with them. So this route basically crafts everything in like what might seem like a weird order, and it's mainly just to manipulate rocks. Here we're actually grabbing our girlfriend's axe, which got stuck in the shadow creature because she fought them. We're also going to kill one of these guys because they are guaranteed to drop an engine oil because of how the item routing works. This axe just does the most damage and is the quickest to get, so that's why we're grabbing it. Also because, you know, it's your girlfriend's axe, you gotta use it. Yeah. too much else to say.
I do have an update. We are just around 1,000 out of that 7,500 needed for that boss rush incentive. So if you want to see that, you have till the end of this run. Feel free to get those donos in. It's a big push, like I said, but I've seen us do it before. And I don't know if Roofon can speak to how cool the boss rush is.
It's pretty cool. I think there's a lot of different strategies that are used in the boss rush compared to the regular fighting the bosses. Although it can be dependent on, it's basically kind of like it's its own little like roguelike game mode kind of deal. And there's a number of bosses on there that aren't seen in the regular run, including, I guess now there's an additional boss that isn't seen in the regular run since we now skipped them. So that's neat.
Chat, that sounds so cool. You got to get those donations in. I want to see it. And I want to read your donations, especially if you get a $5 hype train go. And I would be ecstatic about that.
Okay. Okay. Now we have tons of metal scrap. Right here we're going to be crafting a whole bunch of things. Another hook shots, which will be also very helpful. Both for, again, the aforementioned telehook glitch, and also because hook shots are required? Or might not actually be required. I can't remember. There's a low percent run for this game, and I've never run it, so I don't remember what's required. But yeah, spin attack chip makes the spin attack do more damage. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna break that rock there, and then break both these rocks at the same time, which will cause them to both grab 2 sprockets. And we need 2 sprockets because there's not really an easier way to get any more sprockets from this point on. So, and we need them to craft a shotgun. The shotgun, right? Something I forgot to explain, and will be relevant when we get to the boss. But there's a combo meter in the top left you might have seen. That the number on that directly correlates to a damage multiplier. It's increased by hitting things, both with your weapon, like with your axe or with a gun. And so a lot of the boss strategy will be, again, I've mentioned parrying, but also getting that as high as possible before you get them to parry stun to pull off a 1 cycle, essentially. Now we're in boss mode, actually. We have all the stuff we need for fighting them. So yeah, we're gonna head off to the caves to fight our first boss. Sana. And after beating this boss, it says Iconoclast, but I don't think it's an Iconoclast. I played through Iconoclast, and I don't know if it's a reference. I don't think it is. But maybe I just didn't realize when I was playing it. But I don't think it's a reference to that game. I'm confused by the achievement name is all I'm saying. But I suppose I could ask the developers. They're somewhat active in the space. But yeah. Make your way through the caves. Kind of just go straight through here. It's not a lot of this is actually one of the longer dungeons that you go through just because you have to travel so far. And this is basically the place where we need the flame sword for. Otherwise, you really don't need it. Like here and a few other places. Normally you'd use a shuriken to get through here, but you can entirely skip the shuriken. You skip 2 basic dungeon items, which are the shuriken and the ice grenade, because the ice grenade basically allows you to place grades of water that allow you to go on there, but you can use the spinner for that. And the shuriken can be used to hit faraway switches in certain places and light fires or carry fire. We do not need to carry fire. And then switches far away that we need to hit. So yeah. Anyways, on to our first boss. We can spin attack here, right as the boss starts and during this cutscene actually. And deal some extra damage. Fun fact, if you kill the boss during this cutscene, which you can do, it's possible. They're not with the speedrun setup. The game soft blocks, which is very silly. Slightly unideal there because, oh yeah, get an extra spawn cutscene. Ideally, you spin attack and hit all 3 of the heads at the same time, but didn't quite get that. Not a big deal, though. And yeah, that's our first boss down. After each boss is this like memory hex section, and this first one's pretty easy, but they get a bit more complex as they go along, and a lot of bumping around.
I actually have a donation for that if you want to hear it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I have $10 from the G-Meister saying, hey, Roofon and GDQ, good luck on the new route. It was really fun staying up late to help develop it with you. Putting this towards the boss rush incentive, and I'll donate an extra $1 for every time you bonk with the spinner in a memory hex maze.
Yeah, they mentioned that doing that to me beforehand, and I'm like, I practiced a little bit, but it's pretty easy to bonk in this, so hopefully not going to be too bad. But it's for a good cause, so.
Exactly. Lots of dollars for charity. We love that.
Yeah. Oh. Nice. Yeah, up here, do a little skip with the, get up there. That was annoying. Getting that wrist chip there. The wrist chip does more damage if causes us to do 25% more damage if we're at low health. It won't be used until the end of the run, just because there's not really any convenient place to get to low health, and you heal after every boss. But it will be very helpful for the final boss. Unfortunately, there's not any other chips that we can get that boost damage that are incomparably fast. This is also another puzzle. You're supposed to go through the entire dungeon and figure out all these switches, but again, I can use memorization. I actually usually just have it out on my splits, but I don't have them there, so had to actually use my brain a little bit. But yeah, on to Maria. This boss is probably the most rough in the game, just because I think I mentioned this before. There's not really much RNG in this game, but this boss's patterns, if you don't do it consistently, it's pretty easy. This boss is pretty prone to doing things you don't want it to do. Ah, dang it. Okay. Okay. Oh, did not do that damage. Okay. Yeah. A little sloppy, but not too bad, considering how this boss can go sometimes. So, yeah. There is, I know apparently that there are RNG calls for that little shark dude who is jumping around with a spear. That the amount of times they jump around, I think that has an RNG call to it. But most of the other stuff doesn't, which is nice. There might also be calls for whether you get to use scrap metal for boxes, but that's something we're kind of trawling through the code and trying to figure out. Just because this new route relies on it a lot more than the old route did. And having that knowledge is good, because knowledge is power, as it were. Anyways. We're now going to do our first telehook of the run. Not quite yet, but interested in a little bit. Basically, the way telehooking works is you can spin attack and hook shot at the same time. And depending on where you're holding the left stick, will cause, after releasing, it can cause Alma. I know what game I'm playing. It can cause Alma to warp vaguely in that direction. You can set them up to be decently consistent. They're not usually too bad. They're not usually super precise, but they can be a bit finicky, to say the least. Oops, that was the wrong setup. There we go. Saves a bit of walking in this room, and then here we can use it to, this is kind of like the Tower of Hera in Into the Past, where you have to like fall through the thing, and we can just use it to fall directly into it, instead of having to go all the way around. This is Luna. She's not too bad. There we go. Yeah. There's a slightly more consistent setup you can do on that, but I was running low on the attack cog in the bottom left corner. That boosts our damage. They're temporary. I think I mentioned, yeah. They're temporary buffs that you can have. The attack cog boosts your damage. We also craft stamina cogs, which boosts our stamina meter, but we won't be using that for... we don't use those for the first 3 bosses because they're not necessary. Okay, I completely forgot what I am doing. I love sleep deprivation. Ah! It's for charity. Okay. Going to upgrade our chip slots again here. That will allow us to equip the strength chip. And then we can teleport straight to the factory. The old route would have to walk to the factory here, but because we unlocked it earlier, no need to do that. Yeah, the whole kind of gimmick is this: there's a C-shaped dungeon. You have like the fire off and on, and you have this little mech suit that can go through the fire. Of course, if you want, you can always just teleport past the fire. So, you know, that's an option. Though we do actually need the mech suit, because there is a portion of the boss that requires it. And you can't spawn the boss unless you have the mech suit, so you do have to take a bit of a detour here. Normally you'd have to like also get like armors for the mech suit and do all sorts of things, but you can actually reverse shot a switch through a wall, which saves a ton of time. Not having to get the arms, and you can immediately get the missiles. So that's what we're doing here. Just heading straight to the right here. Gonna grab this guy, pull in the lava. And yeah, replace the box right here. By the wall. You can shoot through the wall. Get that switch. Come over here, get the switch to let our little friend over. Haley is the mech suit's name. Beloved. I think you could technically spawn the... I don't know if there's a technical way to spawn the boss, but even if you could, the missiles from this robot do 999 damage. You do not do 999 damage. The shield on that boss probably has something like 100,000 health. Not quite sure. But it's quite a lot. So even if we could realistically do it, probably still be fast to get this. I'm not sure. Unless there's some like insane setup to shred through its health, but I don't think there is. Oh no. Oh, nope, we're fine. Okay. Sometimes if you mash Y on that too fast, well, which is what you'll exit the mech, and then sometimes you'll be in a position such that you can't re-enter the mech without entering the dialogue, and get stuck in a very unfortunate loop there. Thankfully, that's not exactly what happened, but that's happened once or twice. Usually I try to not to mash Y there for that reason, but I made a little bit of blunder. Now, there's actually a dialogue box that comes up from Iris if you step on one of the big switches without being in the mech. This is actually useful because, I'll see in a second here, assuming I don't mess it up, you can use that to both spawn the boss and get the stamina box as well. And get the dialogue box as well, which allows you to move while the boss is coming down here. Which allows you to damage the boss preemptively before it can even attack you. It's very nice. Once you do complete that very fast. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to say goodbye to Haley because the boss is summoning its sword, and I'm sorry. She was beloved for all of like 2 minutes, and she has to go now. Okay. Let's see that. Yeah, that's our boss number 4. Already nearly on to our final of the 5 main bosses. The Eagle. And yeah, almost. Oh! And 2 up, and then here, and up here. Yeah. And then we'll be good to enter the tower. I'm not sure if you can enter the tower without the axe. Like, I feel like you should theoretically be able to, but, not sure on that, to be honest. There's a dialogue box that you get behind it, and you can teleport behind. There's like a thing blocking your way, but I'm assuming you would do that if that like actually led to anything. So my assumption is it doesn't lead to anything by teleporting behind there. I haven't actually messed around with it that much myself, because like the only other benefit is like you get a weapon that does a bunch of damage, but you can beat the final boss without a weapon that does a bunch of damage. It's not that bad. It's certainly be significantly faster than getting the weapon that does a bunch of damage. Yeah, onto the Eagle Automaton. I should explain, like the meteor shards are basically like they're part of the meteor, and our goal is to craft a weapon with them, get us into the tower, and it can also kill those strata creatures without having to parry them. Although we still will parry them. Actually, you don't actually kill everyone before the end round. So I guess we won't, but. I missed that one cycle, unfortunately. But kill these guys real quick. And that boss. Yeah, now we're gonna have all the meteor shards. And basically being, well, we're gonna take a small detour, actually, before we do that. Although this is gonna crash into the ground with the accompanying explosion first. Turns out destroying something that is currently flying in the air is sometimes negative, you know? I wouldn't know. But yeah, I want to know from personal experience, rather. So, yeah. It's time for a quick donation.
Perfect, I have one. $50 from Anonymous says, very happy to have woken up early enough to catch Unsighted. Best of luck. We also have a $5 hype train going, so chat is working towards that boss rush. Keep getting those donos in.
Cool. Yeah, if there's any other things to read, there's not too much to say right now.
Awesome. Let's highlight that awesome hype train going. I've got $5 from Salbo saying, did I hear in Twitch chat about a $5 donation train for Unsighted? I got my ticket, all aboard. Also $5 from Tato Mecat that says donation train. And $5 from Average Type that says $5 train hype.
Cool. This cutscene, for whatever reason, you can move during. Don't know why. Like you can just skip it and just keep going. Quick this ship here. Now we can go craft Rex. And yeah, before heading directly to the final boss, we can take a small detour. Before we sit through all this dialogue here, talking about, hey, you can go craft a thing. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's definitely not why I came here. But oh no, the axe was actually corrupted, like all those other shadow creatures, because the meteor is weird. That's my understanding. I really don't know why. The meteor is just like that. So. Okay. The corrupted axe scales up the damage of like how many shadow creatures you kill. So because we killed 4, it actually does 4 additional damage. The old route killed 3, but we killed an extra one in this route. Actually, pretty much exclusively because we need the money. This could be a little finicky. I wish it would stop being a little finicky, please. Ow. Please. You know what? We can go around today. Some days you just gotta go around. Today is one of those days.
Time for a donation while we're going around?
Actually, no, because we're about to enter. So this is the layer of M, who is also a robot, but you can do a funny cutscene thing there, but unfortunately I didn't get it. But yeah, she basically offers to give you any of the time remaining from other robots, but I think that's dumb, and so I'm going to tell her to stop doing that. And this will allow us to get a key card, which allows us to skip a few floors of the final dungeon. And it will also, there's escape sequence at the end of the game, and it will allow us to skip that. Also, because if you don't do that, you'd have to carry your girlfriend out for the escape sequence, which is slow. And saving your girlfriend obviously has to be optimal, so therefore, you gotta do it. I mean, of course. Anyways, yeah, now if you have time for a donation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
$50 from Ball that says, "What is this Unsighted? Looks a bit like Crosscode meets Twilight Princess. Shut up and take my money."
Yeah, I've heard a lot of Crosscode comparisons. I have been meaning to play Crosscode. I have not. I know former world record holder Symphonian played or speedran Crosscode. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but yeah. We're actually going to intentionally take damage from this shadow creature here, because it will allow us to get into wrist chip range. You might also notice that means we're at 2 health, which means we're presumably not going to take damage for the next round, and I hope so too. But we'll see. You can actually just skip. Normally there would be a bunch of fights in the tower here. We can skip them by telehooking. And yeah. Oh, that one didn't die in one hit. That wasn't polite. And yeah. On to the final boss. Do we have enough scrap for another attack cog? We don't. That's fine. We don't need another one. Cool. You're just hoping I don't get hit. Yeah. Fun little other boss rush section. Also not the boss rush. That did kill. I was worried my combo beater dropped enough that wouldn't have killed. If that didn't kill, that would have been a little bit of an issue. It would have left me pretty open to getting hit. But thankfully no issues there. Now on to the actual final boss. Important thing to note is that when you are doing a spin attack, you cannot get hit. Oh. That's unfortunate. Okay. I was too close. Yeah. That's fine. We'll just do it. Final boss, normally. Iris is going to politely inform us that we can parry things after getting killed by an attack that you cannot parry, which is really helpful. I appreciate it. Yeah. Fortunately, sometimes it happens that you get hit, but... You can charge a spin attack here, as I was doing before. While this cutscene happens, just gonna sit here. Know they're gonna spawn here. The bosses that spawn are always the same, so. Okay. Right? Anyways. Now back onto the final boss part 2. Nothing happened before. We're chilling. Alternate jump attacks into spin attacks in order to avoid getting hit by the boss. Second phase here, or not second phase. First alternate attack summons these shadow claws from the ground to hit you. Then Raquel comes out to hit you, and this is an attack we actually can parry. Trying to build up our combo meter as much as we can with shotgun before we get through there. Any reason we get it. If you're wondering, like, the biggest reason for the this chip is we would be done with the boss by now, if we use it. Also would help if we had extra attack cog usage, which I fortunately ran out of because I didn't have quite a minute, but... Shoot. Okay. Please. That's annoying. I ran out of stamina. Okay. That's very unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Well, I can make another stamina cog, which is actually more helpful than you think because, again, part of the problem comes is that you can't do a jump attack spin attack combination without the additional stamina the stamina cog provides you, which I ran out of because I died and didn't have enough time. Stamina cog is on a fixed timer as opposed to attack cog, which is based on the number of times you do an attack. So I have no idea what's happening. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're fine. Bosses tend to be harder when you're not doing the same consistent cycle you've done several hundred times. Not several hundred. Probably like around more just 100. But still. Okay. I noticed we got Raquel instead of the Shadow Tendrils this time. That's actually a damage threshold thing. Without the attack cog, it's pretty hard to reach the damage threshold where the Shadow Claws come out on the first cycle. So... the reason why... it's quite important. Okay. There we go. Through the power of love and a big axe, the final boss is insane. Time will happen soonish. This is your answer? Love? Very well. I shall stay and rest. Show me a new world. One made with love. And time. Cool.
GG, awesome run.
Yeah. Cool. Did we reach the boss rush incentive? I need to know.
We did not, but we did raise $1,232.77 for charity, so thank you.
That's rad. That's super rad.
It is
I'm
rad.
glad to hear it. Thank you all. Yeah, that's all. Don't have much else to say. Go play this game. It's really cool. Thanks to all the people who run the game. Thanks to thanks to developers for making it. Thanks to everyone who run the game. Both Gmeister and Aaron for helping me find this new route on Thursday. And everyone else. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, or evening, or night, or midday, or noon. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Roofon, for that wonderful Unsighted run. There was so much love coming in. I know we didn't hit that incentive, but we did raise a lot of money for charity, and we appreciate you. I did have $10 from Neo Total saying, another year, another AGDQ. Thank you to everybody who makes this possible, from the runners who play popular games to those who play the more niche ones. From the tech crew that makes sure everything goes smoothly to the creative people that keep us entertained between runs, to the chat making it fun, the announcers and commentators keeping it together, and everybody we don't see but still has a role in all this. You are all awesome. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice. Thank you so much. All right, my friends, that is it for me at the hosting desk for this particular event. I will be handing the mic to Musical Daredevil right after our break. I do want to give a quick shout out to the run coming up next with Bloopa and Sinin, both absolutely wonderful people, and you should definitely stick around to see them speed through handshakes. It'll be a blast. So keep those donations coming in and keep being good humans.
Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 Online. I'm your next host, Musical Daredevil. Huge shout out to Briesbe for taking that last shift. And coming up next, we have a rather interesting game known as Handshakes. That was actually what looked to be a Game Jam game from this past June, so definitely get hyped for that. In the meantime, though, we actually have a number of upcoming incentives for the Mega Man block that will be coming up right after Handshakes, and we have a long way to go on those incentives, so definitely make sure you get your donations in if you would like to see Mighty Gunvolt Burst upgraded to hard mode, or a special custom HDQ bonus level for Love 3. Those are $5,000 and $3,000 incentives respectively, so if you would like to see those, make sure you apply your donation towards either or both of those incentives on the donation page. And don't forget to make sure that those did get applied. I did forget to do that once, so yes, make sure you hit that box or whatever is required on that donation page to put those donations towards that incentive. We have $50 from KNZO. You guys are changing the world. Keep going fast. And I've just gotten word from our tech crew that we are all ready to go. So take it away, Bloopa and Senin, with this co-op run of Handshakes.